I really just hope that after this whole drama in Nigeria, Africa will be wise about religion. I just hope that after this whole drama, we should learn our lesson about religion. Do you know the reason why? When you come to Africa, when you come to Africa, the religion that you were born into by your parents, that's the religion that you will belong. If you gather 10 Africans, ask them, why do you belong to this religion? Among those 10, it will be about one or two that will say, I did research about this religion and I choose it for myself. The rest 8 or 9, they were born into it. They met their parents in that religion. Now there are three weapons that the Western nations have used to ruin Africa, and we have not realized that these things are weapons against us. We have not realized it. Number one, religion. Number two, education. Number three, democracy. The Western nations sat down with their philosophers, their forecasters, their fortune teller, their sorcerers, and draw this map, these three weapons against Africa. Why are they weapons against Africa? Let's start from education. The pattern of education that we copied from the Western nation. What is African wish at the end of our education? To travel to the Western world and work in the Western world. Why? Because at that point, you really have no option circling your certificate than to go to the Western world and work for them. Because the kind of education that we study or that we practice is the kind of education that will practically be developed or practically be practiced in the Western nation. Because the things that we study in our schools, Africa does not have the platform or the environment to practicalize it. So invariably, at the end of our education, we always want to go to the Western world to work there, pay tax to them, pay our bills there, live our life there. Else, if you think otherwise, among the graduates that Africans have generated all these years, why is it that if Africa, apart from some few countries like the Burkina Faso of recent, if we want to tie a road, after all the engineer, structural engineer, architectural engineer, and other engineers will still go to Western nations to borrow a white man to tie our road. After all the graduates of different engineering departments that we have in our various nations in Africa. That's number one. Number two, democracy. Why is democracy a weapon? Western world were the one to practice democracy first. So, as the colonizers of these African nations, you always want to bow to their principles, to their leadership, and give account to them. Whenever you want to come into power, or whenever you are in power, or whenever you want to come again into power. Take for instance, remember Nigeria 2023. The three major candidates, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Atiku Abubakar, and Peter Obi, they traveled to Chatham House to go and do what? To go and bow to the god of democracy. Since when Tinubu has sent to power and Nigeria economy has been tumbling, have you heard any press statement from Chatham House? What about Congo? What about Uganda? What about Cameroon? The Cameroon election that just passed, have you, amongst all the unrest after the election, did you see any press statement from France? It clearly shows it's a weapon against Africa. And since it's working in their favor, they won't say anything about it. Now let's come to religion, which is the main thing amongst of it all. Now you see, if you want to colonize a people, the first thing you do to those people is to steal their identity. Once you're able to take away people's identity, you have conquered those people. And one of the things that religion does to a people is to steal their identity. When you take a look at the northern part of Nigeria, 99% of the names you find there are names belonging to the Arabic nations. Ahmed and the rest of them. Sule and the rest of them. Arabic nation. Invariably, you cannot be a pure Muslim, or you cannot claim to be a Muslim without having an Islamic name. What does that show? Identity lost. When you are an African and you don't have an African name, a common sense will tell you that that person has already been lost. That's one thing. Now, what do they do to the Christians? The first church in Africa was Roman Catholic Church. Now, what was the practice? No matter the name your father gave to you, your parents gave to you, you need to have a baptismal name, a biblical name. Even if your name is Chinedu, you still need to have Joseph as your baptismal name. You still need to have Paul as your baptismal name. You still need to have Jude as your baptismal name. You still need to have Mary, Martha, Dorcas as your baptismal name. Identity theft. So religion have practically unalive or eliminate the identity of Africa. What about what we were practicing as our religion before the coming of Islam and Christianity? When these people came, they see that African religion was very powerful. They could not match the power. So they tried to make us believe that this religion that we were practicing before Christianity and Islam, that is barbaric, is not godly, is inhuman. Right? We have to do away with it. We have to burn our shrines. We have to relegate our ancestors. We have to do away with our talent, our gift, our natural gifts. Because whether you agree or not, Africans are people that are born with natural gifts. Either you call them spiritual gifts, medical gifts, traditional gifts, leadership gifts, physical talent. Africa are people that it's very difficult for you to see one person born in Africa that don't have a talent, that don't have a gift, a supernatural gift. It's very difficult. So these religions have taught us to do away with our gifts, to relegate our gift and follow their way. Invariably, we not acknowledging who we really are. Identity theft. So for some weeks now, this very pastor has been trending, crying out that Christians has been unalive in the northern region of Nigeria. It's not just insecurity about everybody. No, it is targeted on Christians. We have PFN, Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. We have CAN, Christian Association of Nigeria. We have all other associations regarding Christian forums in Nigeria. We have big men of God in Nigeria. People like the Adeboye, Oyedepo, Suleiman, Orisha and so many others. Even Madam Idahosa. Big people, big men and women of God, as they will call them. Have you seen anyone coming out to say anything regarding it? This always makes me to remember Majek Fashek when he said, religion is politics. And that's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. Among all these people, they've already gotten private jets. Their children are not in Nigeria. If the going gets tougher, they enter their private jet and fly away and leave their members there. For all these years, Christians have been kidnapped. Christians have been by so many things have been happening to Christians. Churches have been burnt down. People have entered churches and massacred people. Remember 2022 in Ondo State, when men come from nowhere and open fire on church, a Roman Catholic church. And nothing happened. We didn't hear any statement from any of the Christian personnel and platforms. I just pray that Nigeria wise up about religion at this time.